sometimes I get sad about some things. Let me explain. It's Vietnam Veterans Memorial Day today. It's a day we honor Vietnam veterans. Everyone who fought there, we honor them. And it occurs to me, they're getting old. Now, hear me out. When I was a kid, I think I was 16 years old, I got a job at a golf course. And I was cleaning golf clubs, running around, just doing grunt work at the golf course. And I got to know this guy who was a veteran of Pearl Harbor. And part of the reason I fell in love with history is this guy, this old gentleman, would sit down with me and he would tell me stories about life in the Navy, about that day in Pearl Harbor. And I was so fascinated and taken in by the amount of wisdom this guy not only had, the amount of wisdom he would pass on to me. And now, World War II veterans are all dying. Time is what it is. Age is what it is. They're all dying. And I think about that when it comes to our Vietnam veterans now. Because in my mind, they're still 50 years old. He's 50, he's fine. No, they're not, man. They're 70, they're 75. They're getting older. And these guys did something so incredible for their nation. One, they didn't get the respect they deserved from their nation. Two, they fought in a war that was led by morons, politically, generals, they were all morons. These guys went over there and went through hell on earth with bad leadership. And that is so incredible. And they have so many valuable lessons they can teach us about everything, about life, about everything. I honor those guys, man. And they're getting older, and it bums me out. So allow me just to say this for Vietnam Veterans Day. Do you know one in your life, even an acquaintance? Why don't you go reach out, text message, phone call. Why don't you reach out, meet him for a cup of coffee, meet him for a beer, sit down, spend 5-10 minutes with them. Because once they're gone, we can't replicate that kind of wisdom. We can't replicate those stories that they can tell us, the lessons they can teach us about life, about government, about brotherhood, about so many things. These guys are the very best of us. And let's also remember this. They didn't come home after being treated poorly by their country. They didn't come home and hate America for it. They were still patriots to the bone. They watched their fathers go off to World War II, and so they signed up to do what they felt was honorable, to fight for the United States of America the way Dad did. And the United States of America's government did these guys so wrong. But they still came home and they flew their flags, and you still see them now walking around the grocery store, Vietnam veteran ball cap on. And isn't that something that's freaking cool, man? I think it's awesome. Honor these guys today. Send a text message. Right now, make a phone call, send a text. Go sit down with them. Once they're gone, we can't bring them back. All right?
Support the First TV today and get instant access to exclusive specials like Who is Ron DeSantis, the history of FBI scandals, and America's worst presidents. Visit thefirsttv.com/support or download the First TV app to become a supporter and start watching today.